Does anybody not know that it's Father's Day? All right, figures. So, if anybody here is a Facebook friend of mine, you may or may not have read a short little rant that I put on there this morning about Father's Day cards. Okay? And it's because my wife and I were having a conversation yesterday, and every now and again, have you ever been around and I get going one of my famous rants? It's kind of comical, but at the same time, there's a point. Hey, you got to cut the low end on this. You need to get the low cut or pull that low end down before Bob and Janet get blasted with a 15-inch Panasonic. That's just because of your age. So, and my point was this, is that some very interesting people get Father's Day cards. Right? And so I think that there should be a criteria or some sort of, you shouldn't just get it because you're a dad or you're a stepdad. I think that to be a daddy, that has to be something that's earned. Because, really anybody can father a kid, that's just biology, right? That's not hard to do. But can you be a daddy? That's what I think is important. And so I think that maybe I'm going to sit down and come up with a criteria on who deserves them. Because if there's dads out there that, aren't good dads, and they're bad fathers, and they don't pay attention to their kids, and they don't raise their children and teach their children, I don't know that they deserve that card. I just don't. And I get all fussy about this because there's a lot of bad parents out there that blame their kids' behavior on everything but their behavior. And I know there's a link between children's mental health and bad parenting and parents' mental health. And it's just sad. I work in children's mental health, so I see it every day. We have poor little kids that are just basically a victim of bad parenting. And it's horrible because these kids are tormented because daddy didn't do everything right. And so he's basically a father but not a daddy. So I move that we change it not to Father's Day, to Daddy's Day. Amen. Being a father is easy. All you got to do is show up once. Okay? But being a daddy is you got to show up all the time. Everything. And you've got to be there. You have to. And I don't know, I just get fired up. It just irritates me to no end. And if you want to see my resume, come to 1721 Meadowvale at 12:30 p.m. Just walk in for about 5 minutes. That's my resume. So, what Brian planned on doing today was basically talking about that. And he asked me to ask you guys a few questions, and we're just going to bounce around the room for a few minutes. And so we'll start with question number 1. And if you would like to answer the question, feel free to go ahead and raise your hand, and Jeff King will bring you the microphone. I had to, you know why? No, red shoes. Yeah. We got a match, bro. All right, and so you get this side, and I'll get this side.
All right,
this side has more people, though, but less men. So you actually get this right in the city. Question number 1. Would you please tell us, by raising your hand,
Put your hands in.
please tell us by raising your hand a trait that is in your dad that you are thankful for.
God is really good, and we've been coming to this church for the longest time, so I'd like to show appreciation to him, so that's the good reason we come to this church, is to learn about God.
All right, good, thanks.
My father always showed everyone unconditional love, and he was a great man of faith.
Okay, so, awesome, great. Now, when you answer a question, though, I'm going to need you to stand up and look at that. Because right now, they're going to hear Carol, but see Jeff's mohawk. You know what? I wish I could do it, but
Thank you.
Go ahead. I'm losing my hair and I have a world's best farmer's tan, so I must be a good dad, right? There's a lot of good A trait in your dad that you were thankful for. Okay, yeah, go see Jamie. She has to say something good because she's sitting next to her dad.
Who knows?
Yes, I will. Strength and perseverance, always, no matter what. And I think it has gotten passed through not just from my dad, but down to the rest of us, too.
My dad had many great qualities, but I think the one that really stands out is that he cared for his family, and he always made time for them. He was never too busy to do things with the family. He was never too busy to take time for his family and to enjoy it.
Let's do two more. All right. So they're both on this side of the room. So Jeffy, Hayden, you get Bill, and I'll get Jessica.
So my dad wasn't my biological dad. He was someone that stepped in when I was age of 3. So then God sent him to be in my life and in my mom's life. So I'm not sure if my mom would be able to go through everything that she had to be through, but he was there for me my entire life. He was an amazing person.
I think I'd count my grandfather as my father, and he was always there to listen whenever I needed to.
Great. Those are all good traits. So apparently we have some good dads now. A good dad is also not perfect. A good dad is humble enough to know he's not perfect, and humble enough to say, yeah, you know what, Mason, that was probably the stupidest thing I could have said all day. I'm sorry. Especially since you were a girl in 13 and you cry when you stare at your phone. Right? Good dads are humble enough to admit their mistakes. You know how much your kids learn from that? Because if dad can admit he made a mistake, then it's like can't. Question number 2. No. Come on, 2. This is question number 2. 2. Somebody said 3. Don't be messing with me. Okay, so this one goes out to the dads, but I will also let the moms chime in because sometimes dads just don't see things. Because, you know, at the end of the day, we're still men and we miss things like colors. As a dad, what is a trait that you have that you are thankful for? You're a dad?
No.
I'll let you chime in now.
I'm an adopted child, and I didn't even know that I was adopted until I was 32 years old. And I think the one trait that this man gave me from as far back as I can remember is the fact that going to church and believing in Jesus Christ was the answer to a lot of things.
Thank you.
Amen.
As a dad, what is a trait that you're thankful that you have? Or your husband, of course, kids together. Really? Well, I'm going to tell Brian that question. You got an hand? Oh, sure. You know what, Bill? Let me get all the way over here.
You're walking away from it. Your turn. I think the one thing I'm the most thankful for is patience, because we had 3 teenagers in the house all at the same time. And there were times when we thought that our kids were never going to get to the age 21. Either they were going to die because of the way they lived their life, or we were going to have to kill them. None of that happened, thankfully. We're very proud of our kids, but it did teach me a lot of patience that I don't think I had before.
Amen.
We had 4, so I'm one up on you. Yeah, anyway. I think that I didn't have very many good traits for a very, very long time. And I think the best thing that happened to me was finding God and coming to Jesus. And him putting Jeanette in my life. And without her and the understanding of my children, I don't think I would have developed any of the good traits, if I even have any today. But I did develop several, such as being able to listen and not always trying to be right and admitting that I can be wrong. So I just thank God for that.
Now, I can speak for me as a dad. When Becky and I got married back in 1996, before cell phones and the internet, it was a different world back then. You could actually be away from home for 8 hours and not speak to each other. So, I mean, I don't know if you guys remember that, but that was why we're now those days. 15 minutes goes by, we're like, oh, I wonder if she's okay. It's fine. I didn't want to have children. One of the things I was like, yeah, I'm not willing to do that. Now I was 25. She was like, 14.
Yeah.
We got married. I was 22. She was 20. And I just wasn't into the kid thing. You know, I just fresh out of the Marine Corps. I had some better things I wanted to do, like to drink some of this and then drink some of that, and then stagger down the road and get more of this. And I kind of had different things in mind, but you know, God does funny things as you grow older and you grow wiser, and you decided we're going to have one child. But one. Because I'm an only child and I was pretty happy. So we're like, let's have one. She has 2 sisters and she wishes she didn't have one. So I'm like, you know what? Let's just have one. Right? Well, that was in 1999 and we have 6. And the scary part about it, right, sometimes you get surprised with biological kids, you know. Oh, well, okay, good enough. Well, I mean, we actually went and picked 3 up from somewhere else. So, I'm telling you what I've been for, because I just love kids. I think that my own kids are awesome. But I also understand that, you know, there's some kids out there that just need work. They need love. They need somebody that is compassionately strong and has no problem staring down a 12-year-old, no matter what she says, and winning the staring contest, because you know what? That should be. And, you know, it's just definitely a skill you have to learn. But I'm so thankful that I have that drive, and I think that's a big part of why I am the way I am. Because God has allowed me to see past bad behaviors and the stupid things people do to get to see the person's heart. You're like, you know what? That's somebody God loves. And I have to love them too, even though I don't really want to today. Anybody else want to tackle that one?
I ain't standing. Anyway, I didn't want to tackle anything new, but I want to take a hand to you. I've known you for a lot of years. And you're right, you said it was 6 kids, and then I traveled with you. I've been with you this week. I took my hat to you, Betty. You are a wonderful example of love and caring. And your kids are really lucky.
That was all. Thank you. Thank you. You want to do one more on this one?
Sure.
You already see the top right?
Now who's got the short end of the stick?
He's the guy with the hairbrush in the mirror saying, talking to himself, you are. No, you are. No, you are. Next on American Idol. That's what you I see him.
That's my boy.
Put it on Facebook.
I actually wanted to, what Darren said about loving your children. I've seen parents pick favorites, and I think a big trait to have is loving your children equally. Both I and myself have a child, well, as well as Darren, obviously, but have
You know, the idea of adoption is a biblical idea. Because if you look back into the New Testament times, even Old Testament, the Roman idea of adoption was a simple one. Once you adopted somebody in your family, they were no longer part of your previous family. So, I adopt Reagan. He receives no more rights, no longer is he a partner. Birth certificate is changed, and he gets to my household where he's now Elquist. His birthrights are now with my family. When I die, he receives as much of my inheritance as anybody else. Okay? So, the Bible, and I wish if I had more than 35 minutes to think about this, I would actually pin this down. But it tells us in the book of Romans, it talks about this idea of being adopted in the family of God, and God taking the place of, not really, it's not like we get rid of our biological dads, but now we're adopted in the family of God, the kingdom of heaven. And so our inheritance is as such. Inheritance, of course, is life and eternity in the presence of God, equally. And so adoption is, it's all throughout the Bible, not only physically, but as well as spiritually. And we were led to adopt years ago. I think we've been talking about it for a long time. Well, 3 kids later, we're still letting everybody know. I'm getting too old for this stuff. At some point, you just got to stop and go, listen, we're never going to be able to retire. We're going to be old and crabby. Well, I don't believe it. She'll be cool. We'll be the couple who are like, oh gosh, is he old? That Becky sure is sweet. That guy, okay.
Got it.
Fourth or third and final question. This one is open to everybody. And I know that when I ask this question, this could be a list of a plethora of things. Keeping in mind we have 11 minutes left in our service. And we have another song to do. So we're going to run over a little bit. Okay, so here's the question. What qualities are you thankful for in our Heavenly Father? The Father of fathers, the daddy of all daddies, the man who loved us so that he died on the cross and bled and rose again 3 days later, just so that we can not die and live in hell for eternity. That's a quality that I like. Oh, I forgot.
I think our Heavenly Father, the greatest quality is His forgiveness, because without it, where would any of us be?
Grace, yes. Thanks, Grandma. I've been calling her Grandma for so long. I think your name's Paula, right?
Well, they call me Grace Lee.
Well, I prefer Grandma, so I don't think you're all that crazy. Have you met some people over here? Really?
Well, I used to go behind the church and try to feed it to the people that was pregnant.
That's why we keep people like you around. Marissa? I didn't even see you guys there. Good morning.
I think one of the things I'm most thankful for is God is always there for you. For those of us who have had absent fathers or fathers who maybe could have been better, that's one thing that makes a big difference. Because it's nice to have a dad, but ultimately, hopefully your dad is modeling after God, and if he's not around, all you have left to look at is God. So I'm really grateful that you can always trust God to be there.
Anyone? Anyone? Bueller? Bueller? Really? Thank you, God. Gosh. It's not every day that Dad creates the universe. That's all we got.
I'm grateful that God, He says, I'll never leave you, never forsake you. That no matter where we are, He's there first. And that He goes ahead of us to prepare a place for us in heaven.
One of the really cool things is I've been part of this church since 1999. September of 1999 when I accepted my first position here. And so I've had the opportunity to know that then. And for those of you that are kind of new or don't know all the story, there's a good part of this room that spent multiple years in our youth ministries, and it's just kind of fun to hear him say things that actually make sense. Him and Alan, I just didn't know. I was like, it's going to be one way or the other with these two. I don't know. And I'll tell you, they turned out to be fine young men and excellent fathers.
I'll take this one after. I think the thing I'm most grateful for in the Heavenly Father is grace and peace. After seeing over 1,000 to 2,000 families and children, to follow up on what Marissa said, without fathers or mothers that needed them, grace and peace, and giving them that gift to give to those kids. It's cool.
Now, Bill's background is he is a licensed clinical social worker. He is basically a kid therapist. His whole job was to help unravel the damage that people do to kids. And we kind of work in the same line of work, so. And it stinks. You see about, hey, stop child abuse. But if you really want to get involved, step foot in one of these places for a day and see some 3-year-old kid pick up a 50-pound dresser and throw it across the room because he can't have juice. Does that make any sense to you? No. It's hurt. He's mad because his parents are horrible.
One of my favorite qualities of God is He loves me for who I am, no matter how much I mess up or anybody else messes up. He brings us into His heart as long as we let Him into ours. And that's one of my favorite things about God. No matter what I do or anything else, He's always there with His arms wide open. And I think that.
He loves you with that beard. I got a word from God this morning. He said, shave it. That's good. You go hunting for a job. Take one more.
I think the fathers are great. I appreciate all your dads sticking by your kids because kids need their dads in their lives. I know that when I raised my daughter and my son alone, and now I'm raising my grandson, without fathers, I can't fill a father's shoes,
Well, it's just not right. I mean, I'm there. I didn't, mine died at 89. I was 15. And even before that, he had a little bit of a problem with grandma's old cough medicine. So, he really wasn't, he was great when I wanted a pizza and played video games, but he didn't really parent me. So, my first image of what a dad was very interesting. But, I'll say this, I knew it wasn't right. Because that family back there was in my life. And I saw how they were. And I got it. So, you guys may not know that. But, that's why we have to walk away. Yeah, say something.
Once upon a time.
Okay. Everybody does. Kind of like what Evelyn said, he always kind of has a plan. He always knows where you're going to be and what you're going to be doing. It's cool how he just has plans for everybody. Like, you see this kid, like for me, kids, I don't know if you guys are older, but you see kids and they're so messed up and they don't believe in God and they're just so set on God being against them that you just sit there and wonder, what's God thinking? But in the end, you know that He always has a plan, and you'll see them 10 years later, or 20 years later, or however old, and they'll be a believer, and it's just so amazing how He can do that.
So we have a Heavenly Father who, from before He created anything, knew that we were going to be a Savior. Out of love, He created us anyway. He knew, as He was hovering over the void earth, that He was going to have to come down here and save our silly butts. Because you know what? We just like sin. When you go on Facebook and you check likes, check sin, because we do. If we didn't, we wouldn't need a Savior. And He created us anyway. He puts things in our path that irritate us, that they build our character. Our church right now is at an interesting point. And I've been around for a long time. I've been through the ups and downs. Not as long as some of y'all, but listen, I was hired by Ray Murray in 1999. I've been through all the pastors too, just from a different point of view. And you know what? We're kind of at a low point right now. Money's a little bit tight. But you know what? I can't say that I feel
know that, I'm just kidding. I'm not ready to give up yet. I still have a substantial amount of hope that we are going to carry on moving forward as a Main Baptist. I'm not really worried about that. Just keep that hope in mind. Remember to pray for us every day as a church. That is so important. Regardless, God is still God. Jesus still died for your sins. It's all okay. Now, I think that about wraps it up. We're going to go